Okay, so you want to start traveling the world, taking 2 to 4 international trips a year, going to all the places you've dreamed of, but at the very same time, you have so many fears concerning travel. Like literally everything about travel scares you. Taking the long flight, experiencing the culture, the different foods, the languages, navigating the country, all that jazz. It all scares you. But at the very same time, you're so excited to get started, to take all your dream trips all over the world. But guys, I know exactly where you're coming from. Even with all this experience I have all over the world, living abroad, working abroad, solo traveling, even after everything I've done abroad, I still get nervous when traveling abroad. It still makes me nervous to interact with different cultures. Like I said in many of my different videos, you can Google your heart out about a culture, but there are just some things you don't know, you need to know until you're in a situation where you're like, oh, I didn't know that. So that still makes me nervous, and I still have a fear of flights. Even after taking so many flights, there's still so many things that freak me out. And there's still so many things that I just have to calm myself down and know that it's gonna be okay so that I can follow my dream, follow my inspiration, and visit this new city, new country, or do this thing that I wanna do abroad. So my point in saying all that is that I know exactly where you're coming from. And in this video, I'm gonna help you to eliminate your travel anxiety. I'm gonna help you finally take that trip abroad that you've always wanted, and to give you the confidence to keep traveling internationally as much as you want. So make sure you stay until the end of the video to get all my tips and tricks to dealing with this annoying travel anxiety. Okay guys, so we're gonna talk about 5 different travel anxieties that I know you're probably struggling with. And the first one, and it's kind of funny, but something I really struggled with when I first started traveling, it really freaked me out. And that is literally just being far away from home. Like my physical body being 3,000 miles away from anything familiar. My family, my friends, that just totally freaked me out. So my first official international trip as an adult was to Sri Lanka, and I was in Sri Lanka for a month. A month or so before the trip, I used to wake up in the middle of the night just freaked out thinking about I am literally gonna be so far away from New York. Like my body is gonna be so far away. I'm gonna be here on the planet, and I'm gonna be here on the planet, and my friends and family are here on the planet. New York would be about here, right? And that would freak me out. And then this fear was confirmed, or I experienced it, because when I was in Sri Lanka, and I guess I just had too much time to think. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm really far away from New York. I'm here on this little island, on this country, far from my friends and family, and it just freaked me out. So if you're having a fear of your physical body being far away from your friends and family, from anything familiar, let me tell you how to deal with it. Well, the first thing you have to do is figure out what is it that's freaking you out about being physically far from your family and friends. And for me, that was being away from safety. I felt like the closer I am to my friends and family, the safer I would be, physically being safe. And I had to talk myself out of it, because I was like, wait a minute, if I get injured, if I'm sick, there's hospitals here. My host family could help me. The other volunteers could help me. I had to calm myself down and let myself know that I'm physically safe. You're gonna be okay. So that was my underlying fear that I really had to sit down and think about. And when it started to pop up, when I was going to other countries, I would just snap myself out of it and be like, okay, I'm gonna be okay. You're not the first person to travel to this country. You're not the first tourist. You're not the first woman, American, whatever. You are not the first. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be safe. You have your travel insurance. If anything happens, you can go to the hospital. And on top of that, I would go to social media and see other women successfully doing what I wanted to do. Okay, so fear number 2 is a fear of getting lost, getting stranded in a new country, and then you don't speak the language. So I know a lot of you are probably afraid of getting stranded and getting lost. Trust me, I had that fear too. And If you know me, you know I'm terrible with directions. And on top of that, I'm sometimes in my head walking around acting like I'm the queen of the world and just looking around like this. So I tend to get lost. I tend to get lost because I'm just in the moment enjoying things. And the number one time I got lost, and this is a lesson for you, the number one time I got lost was when I was in Taiwan and my cell phone went dead. I did not know where my hotel was. I didn't have a hard copy. I had no idea where my hotel was. I just remembered my hotel was near a train station. So I hopped in a taxi and I told the taxi to take me to that specific train station. And I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do right now, but I'm gonna remain calm. And I'm gonna go shopping and I'm gonna get something to eat. I'm just gonna remain calm. And luckily, I went into like a clothing store and there was a girl my age, and I can't remember what we were talking about, what I asked her, but I indicated to her like, hey, I don't know where my hotel is, and she offered me to let her use her iPad, and I logged into my Gmail and I was able to find my hotel address, which was like literally around the corner. It was so close to where I was. So I've just learned so much from that one experience. And that's why I share on my channel a lot of like old people travel tips that your parents would share with you, because I find that a lot of them are useful and a lot of them would help you avoid getting lost and stranded, right? So the number one way to avoid getting lost and stranded is to carry a hard copy of your accommodation address. Carry a hard copy, have a copy of it saved in your notes on your cell phone, just in case you don't have internet. And on top of that, make sure that you save it in the countries, whatever countries you're going to, in their language. So you can just, hey, show it to somebody and they'll just take you right where you need to go. The next thing I do is that I print out a map of where my accommodation is. On Airbnb, they show you where your accommodation is and the side streets. If I need to, if there's some kind of confusion, I can just show the taxi driver the map. And then also just make sure you have some cash on you in case you have to hop on a taxi back to your accommodation. The next travel anxiety is running out of money when traveling. So the thought of being stranded in a foreign country with no money and not even be able to call your friends and family back home to send you money because you literally don't have any cash, or you don't have anywhere to stay, or you don't have any money to buy food. It is scary. It's definitely scary, but something that's avoidable. You can set yourself up to where you're safe and you don't have to worry about being stranded and running out of money. Okay, so your solution is so simple. First of all, you need to create a budget. I have so many budgeting videos on this channel already. I'll link some in the description. I'll link one up here to help you. Create a budget, and then you have to stick to that budget. And the thing about creating a budget is that you need to do your research to make sure that your budget that you're creating is actually realistic and right for the country that you're visiting. Because a $1,000 budget in Japan is not the same, will not go the same as a $1,000 budget in like Guatemala. So your job is to do the research, create a daily budget, a trip budget that's realistic and good for the country that you're visiting, and then follow that budget. The next thing that you have to do is have an emergency fund. Like you can have cash at hand, or you can have a credit card in case something goes down and you need some cash. You need some cash to get out your accommodation. Maybe it's not safe. You need to book a new accommodation, go back home, fly back home, whatever it is that you need extra cash for. Okay, so the next one is, and I don't really know how to word this properly, but basically being in a country where everyone is similar and pretty much different from you, and you're in a culture that's 100% different from you. I hope I'm saying that right. So for example, being an American and moving to Japan, that was completely shocking. That was shocking and a crazy experience for me, or just anywhere in the world. I'm just used to being in America where there are so many different types of people. They look different cultures. Especially growing up in Brooklyn, I'm just surrounded with like different people. So I feel like it really hits hard for me when I first started traveling and I would go to a country where people were similar. And how I dealt with being the different person, especially since I'm Black, I would like always be the only Black person. What I found that really helped me deal with being the only different person. And I'm telling you, I really don't even care anymore if I'm the only different person. It doesn't even bother me. What helped me, what like a different thought process I needed to have was I seen that I was feeling like these people are different. I'm different and they're different, and like we can't get along. Like we're all just different, and then it's all these people that are different from me, and then I'm here by myself. But basically I had to realize like these people are human just like me. We're all humans here just trying to figure things out, and I can still make a connection with these people. I can still enjoy myself here. It's not a big deal. Like they might speak a different language, they might dress different, their music might be different, everything about them might be different, but we're still human. We are no different. So that really helped me from like having anxiety about being in these different spaces. So that's what I want you to do. This is totally going to transform your travel experience and just alleviate this fear. Okay guys, so the next travel anxiety is getting sick, injured, or just plain old dying in a foreign country. So this was also a big fear of mine. I was so afraid of dying and no one knowing that I'm dying, like my family and friends not knowing. I'm not sure why. But yeah, this was a big fear of mine. The thing is, there's really no way for us to predict the future, for us to predict that we'll get sick, injured, or die. Like there's no way to know that's gonna happen. And the best thing for you to do is just be safe, make smart decisions. So in terms of getting sick, don't eat street food. I love to eat street food, but if you're really worried about it, just don't eat street food. Read Google reviews of restaurants. Go to the best restaurant. Go to places that look clean. Just don't eat from anywhere. Wash your hands. Just do these things that you would normally do back in your home country to be safe and healthy. And as for safety, just because you meet someone at the bar, it doesn't mean you have to go back to their place and finish the party over there. And PSA, not everyone can ride the motorbikes in Thailand. Like a lot of people, that's just not for a lot of people. So I'm just letting you guys know, a lot of people have died from that. I'm not trying to scare you, but just think about if that's the best decision for you. So basically the best thing for you to do to be healthy and be in one piece, come back home in one piece, is just to make smart decisions. Wear your seatbelt. Don't eat any and everything. Don't hang around with people that seem suspicious. Don't trust everyone. Be wise, make smart decisions. So guys, make sure you comment in the description if you have a travel anxiety you want me to make a video about. These are just the top travel anxieties that I've experienced and a lot of people talk to me about. So make sure you comment in the description if you want me to make a video about a different travel anxiety. I really hope this video helped you calm down and gain the confidence to book that trip. I have so many videos on this channel to help you, so I'll link a playlist below if you're now getting started with traveling, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.